Hey, how's it going, guys? Nate here, and welcome to another Top 5 Fallout 4 mods. Last time I did a video showcasing a few mods was about a week ago, and at that time, it was literally like the day or two after mods arrived for consoles as well, and I was trying to make sure everything I did was also console compatible, so there wasn't really a whole lot of choices to be had there. It was literally only the second or third day of console mods being a thing, so most of the things that were uploaded onto the workshop were really just like test mods and things that maybe changed the paint of your armor or something, but fortunately, since then, it's been an entire week, and literally hundreds upon hundreds of new mods have been added in, and oh my god, they are getting so much better. So here is week 2 of the top 5 Fallout 4 mods on Xbox One and PC, and hopefully PS4 in about a month or two when that arrives as well. So without further ado, let's do further! Sneaking its way into number 1, we have the Real Nights with Real Lights mod, and this makes nights significantly darker in Fallout 4. In vanilla Fallout, when you walk around, your visuals aren't really obstructed by nighttime in the game. You can still see around pretty much just fine, and it's significantly brighter than real-life nighttime should be. Well, this mod fixes that, makes nights significantly darker, while at the same time making your power armor light significantly stronger to balance it out to a more realistic extent. Because in the game, in the vanilla version, when you're walking around nighttime, it's pretty easy, you can see all around you, no problemo, and then that power armor light you have really just becomes an aesthetic, because you can still see around just fine. Well, now that power armor light becomes a necessity when you want to rock around and get stuff done, you know? All you can really see in front of you now is where you're shining that light at. So your peripherals are going to be left pretty much unguarded at all times, and you'll find yourself getting ambushed a lot more often, and it just adds a level of realism and depth that wasn't present in vanilla nighttime, which sounds kind of funny when you say it like that, but it's a really cool mod if you want to play like a survival playthrough, you just want to have a little bit more difficulty out of the game. This is definitely a mod for you. You're going to get attacked at your flanks a lot more often, you're going to get attacked from behind just a lot more often because you can't see in any of those directions anymore. So I recommend this one if you want to do if you want to go through the game a little bit more hardcore, if you will. Coming in at number 2, we have the Eliminate Stupid Lines, immersive generic dialogue mod, and much like the first feature on this list, it also does what its name suggests. It fixes a lot of the generic dialogues and makes them a little bit more realistic. So, oftentimes you'll be walking in Diamond City, for instance, right? You'll see a guard, you'll say hello, and he'll say hello back, and you'll say hi there, and he'll say hello again, and they just keep repeating the same phrase over and over and over again, multiple times in a row without stop. Well, this mod corrects that problem, and makes the things that they're going to say back to you a little bit more, not necessarily situational, but it's going to make them a little less random, and it's going to make sure that it doesn't repeat itself over and over and over again, like the AI always seems to do with these Bethesda games. This is very similar to a mod that helped correct this problem with guards in Skyrim. Well, this mod just does it throughout the entire game and fixes that problem overall. So I recommend this mod because you're not actually going to notice it being used, but instead it's going to keep you from noticing a lot of the dialogue bugs that we see otherwise. Coming in at number 3 is the Enclave Encounters mod, and this mod adds the Enclave in as a playable faction in Fallout 4. Now, unfortunately, there are no quests for this mod, but what it does add in are some new weapons, some new armors, new paint jobs, new NPCs, and even some new random encounters throughout the Commonwealth. So, oftentimes you'll find Enclave patrols wandering around with a couple guys armored up in power armor, followed by a scientist and maybe an officer or two, and all those enemies will be scaled appropriately to your level. And unless you join that faction, then it will respond hostily towards you and shoot at you and or whatever companion you're also bringing along. And I felt this mod was pretty cool. I also feel like it addressed a bit of a plot hole in the game, where oftentimes you'll find that XO2 power armor just scattered across the Commonwealth, but which was generated and created by the Enclave, but there's no real signs of the Enclave other than that. It kind of leaves you wondering, like, what went on here? Well, this mod adds in the Enclave and just solves that problem altogether. It's a pretty enjoyable thing. The Enclave soldiers look amazing up close, and altogether, it's one that adds a little bit of depth and immersion to the game that I recommend you guys try out for yourselves. Coming in at number 4 is a mod that should have been in the last showcase just because it's so damn fantastic. It is the unofficial Fallout 4 patch, and for me to describe everything this mod does would require a separate video in its own right, but essentially it fixes hundreds upon hundreds of glitches and bugs for the game regarding quests and object placements, while at the same time adding a little bit of stuff regarding gameplay. This includes random encounters. For instance, I was walking around and I saw some super mutants actually enslaving somebody, which I found to be pretty funny. Granted, I didn't help out, but still, pretty good mod altogether. I recommend you guys try this one out if you're having any issues with bugs, and the authors paid special attention to making this mod compatible with most other mods, doing its best to limit any interference whatsoever, so it's probably going to work with anything else you use, and it only weighs about 700 kilobytes, so it's not that expensive either. And coming in at number 5, if you felt like melee combat wasn't in-depth enough, if it didn't have enough choice in weapon selection, we have the MCAM Melee Collectibles and Adventure mod. And this mod adds in 30 new unique melee weapons, as well as NPCs that use some of them. Keep in mind, these NPCs are also fully voiced. It does a whole lot in that regard. It adds in some new locations as well. Altogether, it's really good for you people who want to build a melee-based character. The weapons it adds in are pretty fucking hilarious, but I encourage you guys to check this one out for yourself. I don't want to spoil too much for you, as it's kind of fun discovering everything this mod has to offer, but I recommend you guys check this one out if you're into melee combat. The only downside is it is 505 megabytes. It is a huge amount of space to take up, so do be wary of that. It might not be worth it if you're already downloading a lot of other content, but if you're really just looking to increase the fun you have with melee combat, this is the mod for you if you can handle that amount of space. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you found a mod in this list that you want to try out for yourself. There's literally thousands, so there's bound to be a couple things I missed that you guys might want to leave in the comment section down below. If there's any mods you think I should try out or feature in a video, I'll definitely mess a little bit around with it in single player for a little while, but hope you all enjoyed again, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Like if you liked, dislike if you disliked. Peace out, everybody.